Goldstein and Larkey both went off late in the game. Thankfully, we were able to assess them and get them back out on the park. So they played the game out, both of them, which is a real positive sign. We've got a 6-day break, so we still need to make sure that they recover really well at the start of this week and get them available for Thursday's main training. But at this stage, it looks like they'll both be available for selection this week. Good to have Robbie Tarrant back this week after missing the whole season so far. So Robbie will play a half at VFL level this week after training really strongly the last couple of weeks. So good to see him back. Hopefully post-bye we see him back in AFL selection discussions. Jed's well and truly into his rehab program. Got to a level now where he's going to run next week. From there we'll be able to assess how far off he is to play. He's still obviously some time away from playing AFL footy. We need to recondition him given he's missed so much time. So we'll see how he goes over ground next week and assess from there. Steve-O's recovering well from the wrist injury. The good thing about his injury, we're still able to train him and he's functioning really well. From a fitness point of view, he's still able to do a lot of our training. So we'll have another review in about 2 weeks' time of Steve-O, and if he gets through that review, then he should be available for AFL selection. So hopefully back around 13, possibly around 14. Luke McDonald's in a similar position to Steve-O where they can still get the conditioning in even though they're injured. So the strength for Luke is going to be the main part and the functionality given the injury he's got with the pec and a bit of the bicep. So he's probably still another 4 to 5 weeks away from being available to play footy. The good thing is he'll be conditioned throughout that whole time. Kyron, he's had a couple of injuries there with the hammy, so we're being conservative with this one. I want to see him get a few full weeks of training under his belt before we get him back to playing. So post the bye, we expect to see Kyron out on the ground and playing, whether it be at VFL or AFL first up, but he should be back playing post-bye. Jared's in a similar boat to Kyron, given they've had a couple of injuries. Post-bye, we would like to ramp up Jared's training, get some real good full training weeks into him with the main group, and then he'll need to get those under his belt before he's available for selection. So we probably think around round 14 might be a realistic time frame for Jared to return to play. Yeah, the infection's healing really well. So we've had some really good news over the last 2 to 3 weeks after a frustrating period. So the main thing with Aiden's always been about his health, and we'll put that first and foremost. But in the next week or two, we'll probably get a bit more of a feel for what the next step is in terms of getting him back to some conditioning work. So clearly we'll be slow with it given the amount of time he's had off. He was injured in round 2, so he's missed 8 weeks of any activity. So we'll assess that in the next week or two, and then we'll have a full rehab plan for him after that. So he'll still be out for some time, but as I said, it's more about the health at this stage and making sure that infection's fully healed.